Dumela Mui o amoetswe kgasong ena ya ditaba tsa Sesotho ho SABC 2 empa ha re qale ka dihlooho tsa tsona.
We have 24,535 South Africans registered to vote in the UK. The UK is South Africa's biggest voting station in and out of South Africa.
Commission e kemetseng ya dikgetho e thakgotse dikgetho tsa naha botjhabela bo hare kajeno.
Leadership here, I have full confidence in them, in their ability to continue leading our province.
Mopresidente wa ANC Cyril Ramaphosa o re o hlobaetswa boroko ke maemo a renang pele ho dikgetho tse akaretsang tsa naha le tsa diprovinse. Tsona re di thakgola semmuso ka ditaba tse reng commission e ikemetseng ya dikgetho e thakgotse dikgetho tsa naha botjhabela bo hare kajeno. Ho sane ma Afrika Borwa a dulang Britain, Netherlands, Poland, Australia le dinaheng tse ding tsa matjhaba a tla kgetha. Afrika Borwa ke enngwe ya dinaha tse mmalwa tsa kontinente ya Afrika tse dumellang baahi ba yona ba dulang mose ho ilo kgetha.
This weekend is a very big weekend for South Africa in the United Kingdom. It's a celebration of South Africa's democracy and freedom. We are having our 7th national elections and we expect a high number of South Africans to turn out at the South Africa House to come and exercise their democratic rights. Voting will be on the 18th and the 19th of May from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on both days. We have 24,535 South Africans registered to vote in the UK. The UK is South Africa's biggest voting station in and out of South Africa. And from the 2019 election, we had a 63% voter turnout with 11,000 registered voters. In 2024, we have double the number of registered voters that will be coming through to vote, that are registered to come through to vote at South Africa House. And we are expecting a higher turnout than we had in 2019. So it will be a very busy weekend at South Africa House, and we are hoping for great weather. And we ask South Africans to exercise patience with us because of the high number of voters that are registered to vote at our voting station.
Re atela pele Mopresidente wa ANC Cyril Ramaphosa o re o hlobaetswa boroko ke maemo a renang pele ho dikgetho tse akaretsang tsa naha le tsa diprovinse tse tla ba ka la 29 Motsheanong.
Mopresidente Ramaphosa, motlatsi wa hae Paul Mashatile le motlatsi wa hae wa mehleng David Mabuza ba tlo nka matsatsi a mararo ba le letsholo la mokga la boikete ba dikgetho KwaZulu-Natal.
I'll be spending the next 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks?
3 days.
Oh, 3 days. I'll be spending the next 3 days here. So it's always a pleasure to be here in KZN, where the ANC has a lot of support, despite what the doomsayers are saying.
Mopresidente Ramaphosa o tshetletse le tshwele le batshehetsi ba mokgapuo Grey Town mo a ipileditseng ho bona ho tswa ka magalo ohle ho ile kgetha mokga.
Our people, in their hearts of hearts, they know that they support the African National Congress, and all we are doing now is to make sure that many of our people come out to vote. Once ANC supporters come out in their millions, we are absolutely certain of a clear victory.
Mopresidente o re o na le tshepo boetapele ba provinsi ba mokga bo eteletsweng pele ke Sesotho Duma le ha batho ba bangata ba sa thabele boetapele ba provinsi ba mokga.
Leadership here, I have full confidence in them, in their ability to continue leading our province.
Komiti ya naha ya phethahatso ya ANC ile ya tlameha ho ema ka maoto ho thusa provinsi ho ngoka bakgethi le ho tsosa dithomorolo pele ho dikgetho.
Ho sa le jwalo modulasetulo wa naha wa ANC Gwede Mantashe o re mokga o busang ha wa lebella mmuso wa kopanelo ka mora dikgetho. O se o lotse ka bohale mopresidente wa mehleng wa ANC Jacob Zuma ka seabo sa hae mokgeng wa MK. Mongodi e moholo wa mehleng wa ANC o tiisa maikutlo a hore ha ba lebella mmuso wa kopanelo ka mora dikgetho.
We are contesting, and we are contesting to win outright majority. That's what we are contesting for, and we are working hard. Election outcome are a function of hard work. We are working hard, therefore we are hoping that our hard work will pay off on the 29th. There will be no coalition. Okay. Why do you imagine coalition? There will be no coalition. We're working for an outright majority.
Tabeng ya motlakase Mantashe o re mmuso o sebetsa bosolo motsheare ho rarolla bothata bona.
They were making it a tool for campaigning against the ANC. And the ANC paid attention. We developed electricity action plan in July 2022. We've been working on that plan all the years until the radiator left, who was actually at the heart of sabotaging the ANC. I can say that today.
Modulasetulo eno wa ANC ha ka fapanya mantswe a hae ha ne a bua ka mopresidente wa mehleng Jacob Zuma ka kabelo ya hae mogeng wa MK.
Anybody who have never experienced loyalty will never appreciate the depth of betrayal. Okay, but if you have been loyal to a movement for a long time and you get betrayed, you feel it, that it's betrayal, and don't give it another name. We have been betrayed by former president of the ANC. That is betrayal. You can't describe it anyhow.
Kala mashimamabedi a na le metsorobo motshiano ma Afrika Borwa a tla ya dikgethong ho ya kgetha boetapele ba tsamaiso ya bosupa. Kaoleleng re fumana hore moetapele wa Democratic Alliance John Steenhuisen o hlalositse ditshebeletso tse putlameng tsa bophelo le tlhokeho ya mesebetsi ile amang a mathata a aparetseng province ya Eastern Cape.
Steenhuisen o ile a etsa ketelo ya tekolo ho enngwe ya ditshebeletso tsa metsi St Francis Bay. O ile a boela etela didiba tse pedi tse ntjha tsa maiketsetso e le ho etsa bonnete ba hore metsi a hlwekile le hore a ka fepelwa setjhaba.
Municipalities are going to have to focus a lot more on becoming resilient to be able to deal with these issues, rather than letting people go without water and have drought doing devastating consequences to your municipal income and the like. So I think that municipalities around the country should be taking a leaf out of the book of Koge here, the first plastic road. Now we've got these innovative package plants that are ensuring people have access to drinking water, to ensure that we build resilient local government municipalities so that people don't suffer.
Ho latela polelo ya moetapele wa Mokga o re dintlha tse pedi tse ka sehlooho tseo o tlang ho di lokisa provinseng o tla etsa ntlafatso ya ditshebeletso tsa bophelo bo botle le ho thewa ha mesebetsi ha e ka hapa dikgetho tse tlang.
Healthcare is really hit rock bottom here when you have terrible stories of young babies being born and having to be put into vegetable boxes because there's not incubators. The second thing here is unemployment. Unemployment is massively high in the Eastern Cape, and particularly young people. 7 out of 10 young people cannot find work in the Eastern Cape.
DA isale ele Mokga o busang masepaleng wa Kuga ho tloha ka 2016 ka morao ka taolo ho ANC dikgethong tsa masepala.
Moetapele wa EFF Julius Malema o re mmuso o lokela ho abela barutwana diaparo tsa sekolo tsa mahala dikolong.
There must be free education, there must be shoes free of charge, there must be uniform free of charge for all our children, because the children must look the same when they are at school. Comrades, they can't say there is no money to buy free uniform for our children. We are buying free uniform now, but we are buying it for prisoners. How come you don't buy free uniform for children, but you give prisoners free uniform, you give them free shoes?
Moetapele wa National Coloured Congress o re mokga wa hae ke ona fela tshepo ya ho qetela ya baahi ba mmala kwano Afrika Borwa. Moetapele wa MCC Fadiel Adams o re morero wa bona ke o kopanya baahi ba merabe e fapaneng ya naha.
Mokga wa NCC o re morero wa yona ke o bona batho ba mmala ba una molemo ditshebeletsong tsa mmuso haholo bao ba dulang provinseng ya Western Cape.
The National Coloured Congress, the voice of the coloured people, the last hope for the coloured people, represents the aspiration of coloured people, the disappointment of coloured people. The only party that speaks to the coloured need without its focus being anywhere else.
Mokga o re o tlilo sebetsa ka thata go netefatsa gore o ntlafatsa bophelo ba ditho tsa ona.
When businesses don't employ colours, we successfully closed them down until they do. And then the mayor of Cape Town stepped in, took my rights money, took us to court to stop us from employing coloured people. The agenda is clear. Gangsterism, drugs, prison. That's what government has reserved for our people.
Lekgotla la naha la batho ba mmala le tla tseba hang ka mora dikgetho tse tlang ebang melao ya ona e tla sebetsa na. Mme maAfrika Borwa ohle a shebile ka mahlo a mafubedu letsatsi la dikgetho ka la 29 kgweding ena.
To be honest, I've got no hope, and I just hope a different party takes over in the Western Cape, because I've got no hope for the DA, but the way they've been treating the people.
IEC Western Cape e re e se e le malalalaotswe bakeng sa dikgetho.
Ditaba ka puo ya marena ya Sesotho di tswela pele ho SABC 2. Leqwetha la Israel le tekile dingangisano tsa lona tse arabelang kopo ya Afrika Borwa ya hore lekgotla la dinyewe la matjhaba ICJ le latele dipehelo tse laelang Israel ho khina matsholo a yona a sesole Rafah le Gaza.
South Africa is suggesting a convoluted reading of international law, under which any armed conflict could be brought before the court. It seeks, once again, to obtain provisional measures that would bind only Israel and not its adversary. The absurd result would be that Israel would be denied its inherent right to defend itself. Hamas, for its part, would remain free to continue committing its horrific crimes. The purpose of the Genocide Convention is not to have the court supervise the conduct of armed hostilities by parties to the conflict, by the assertion of the genocide. Rather, the Convention, and subsequently this court's jurisdiction, is limited to the grave crime of genocide. I am compelled to restate once again that there is a tragic war going on, but there is no genocide.
Lekala le ikgethang la diphuputso ke hore SIU le ho tha ho fuputsa basebeletsi ba 16 ba setsha sa baphaphathehi sa Desmond Tutu ka diqoso tsa tsamaiso e maphemphe bobodu le boqhekanyetsi ba kabo ya ditokomane.
Mafelo a le matlhano a lefapha la merero ya selegae a baditšhaba ba batlileng botshabelo mono gae a ne a fetoga go nna a ditiragalo. Se morawa gore mongwe a lometsebe ba lephata la merero e ka bonwenwe kwa lefapheng leno. Batlhankedi ba tiragatso ya molao ba ne ba itelekela kwa ditheong tseno go akaretsa le se se kwa Marabastad sa Desmond Tutu.
They took affidavit from the whistleblower, they went to court to get a warrant of search and seizure that they must search and seize any document or any gadget here which the people are using. And that's what is happening today.
There are elements of syndicacy and there's element of organized crime, right? So as we assess the evidence and trace and follow up, we will get through to how the nature of the syndicate and how organized this crime is.
SIU ine ya tlhasela batlhankedi ba le 16 ba ba dirang kwa setheong sa kamogelo ya batshabi sa Desmond Tutu kwa dikantorong tsa bona ba golagangwa le go rebola ditlankana tsa lefapha ka tsietso. Didiriswa tsa bona tse di akaretsang di cell phone, di laptop le ditlankana tse dingwe di tserwe ka motsi wa go phuruphutsa le go kokoanya bopaki. Mookamedi wa SIU a re ba ba amegang ba tshwanetse go sekisiwa.
Those who are implicated, we want to see them disciplined and taken out of the system. We want to see them prosecuted. When the evidence is gathered, we'll refer that to the National Prosecuting Authority.
Bangwe ba ba kopang tetla ya maemo a botshabi mo nageng ba re ba tshwengwa ke tsholo e makgwakgwa kwa ditheong tsa batshabi.
They give us promise, they didn't even do anything to work.
They mustn't treat us like we are dead.
Mopresidente Cyril Ramaphosa o saenetse SIU tetla ya go batlisisa tsamaiso e sokameng kwa lefapheng la merero ya selegae go sa le gale monongwaga. Offense Stimo, SABC News, Marabastad mo Pretoria.
Ditebogo Junior Phalane ya dilemo tse 5 o bolokilwe ka jeno setsheng sa bafu sa Soshanguve ka Leboya ho Pretoria.
Tirelo e tlhabang maikutlo ya ngwana yo a kaiwang a na tletse boitumelo mme ebile a itumedisa botlhe bao ba neng ba le gaufi le ene.
Junior was in our exit planet, the Majestic Mercury. We knew that this was his exit year, but we did not expect this exit. We have been robbed of a beautiful soul.
Junior Phalane o thuntshitswe kwa legaeng la gabo ka nako eo rraagwe a neng a tseelwa sejanaga ka dikgoka. O tlhokafaletse kwa sepetlele moragonyana ga tiragalo eo.
This young boy was robbed of his whole life ahead of him because of crime. What makes me sad is that this picture here will never corrode. The picture that the parents have of this young boy will always look like that. You can only imagine what these two people are going through.
Dikemedi tsa mekgatlho ya dipolotiki le tsone di tshwaetse ka ga tiragalo eno.
You are one of the young men who are very rare, particularly in the black community. Most of us young men are abandoned by fathers. But you are a great father. That's why that boy ran to the gate.
We have to get to a point where we, as a leadership collectively, and I've seen my chaplain is here as well, we need to be praying, and not only praying, but we need to be taking a stance and say, where do we draw the line?
Maloko a baagi a ipileditse kwa sepodising go lwantsha bosenyi ka thata. Balaodi ba supile fa ba tlile go lebagana le mathata ano mme ba gwetlhile baagi go dirisana mmogo.
It's a war that is declared by criminals, and we have to fight it as such with all energy, with all vigor, and with all unity as a community and as South Africans.
Botlhoko jono bo tlhagetse lelapa leno beke fela morago ga fa ba sena go amogela ngwana wa bone wa boraro. Junior o tlogela batsadi, morwa rraagwe le kgaitsedi, ramogolo le meloko e le mentsi ya lelapa. Molimone motho wa SABC News, Soshanguve.
Moahlodi ya dinga sa beile mejafatsi wa lekgotla la molao wa motheo Yvonne Mokgoro ha e sa le a fokollwa ke bophelo o fihlela hlokahala pejana kgweding ena.
Melaetsa matshidiso e ntse romelo ka bongata lapeng la moahlodi wa pele wa mosadi ya neng a sa beile mejafatsi lekgotleng la molao wa motheo Yvonne Mokgoro.
That Rhodes Mandela Foundation, she was a rock. She was sharp. She also helped us to shape this organization from the start to what it has become. And I'm so proud of the work that she did and the young people she inspired there. The young women in particular.
Mokgoro ya ileng a ame a kotsing ya koloi haufi le Kimberley ka Mmesa ngwahola ha e sa le a fokollwa ke bophelo tloa ka nako eo ho fihlella hlokala pejana kgweding ena.
She suffered greatly. She suffered greatly for a year. She lay on a bed and we didn't know what's going on in her head. We didn't know if she could see us, she could hear us. She couldn't move. But she was there, she breathed, Every now and then she would flick her eyes. And for a year she did that. She held on to life, and I think life held on to her. It didn't want to give her up.
Mokgoro o tla phomotswa borokong ba eba o qetela ka la bone la bekeng e tlang Johannesburg.
Jwala re bona hore mebaraka e sebeditse jwang ha JSE e ne e kwala horeng ya bohlano. Ranta e ntlafetse ka makgetlo a mararo a latelanang kgahlano le dolara ya Amerika. Diabo di a sebetsa hantle ha mebaraka e ne e kwala horeng ya bohlano. Ditheko tsa thepa le tsona di tsitsitse ka morao re oli e tala ya Brent e rekise ka $83 barrel ka jeno. Re di phethela jwalo ka otloloa ka tsa dipapadi mme teng re fumana hore dihlopha tsohle tse 16 tsa League ya DStv Premiership di tla bapala dipapadi tsa tsona tsa hosane thapama. Boholo ba dihlopha tse ka hodimo di tsa League ena le tsona di tla bapala ho kenyeletsa le tse lebeletsweng hore ngwa ke Slepe. Kgaso ena ya ditaba tsa Sesotho e fella mona kopana le moifu wa rona wa ditaba tsa Setswana hosane ka hora ya botshelela thapama. Ke o taba.